In 1970, the people of Chile made the mistake of electing a socialist prime minister, Salvador Allende. Allende was the people's choice, but he wasn't the CIA's choice, so they spent $8 million to get rid of him.
Salvador Allende was the first avowed Marxist, it was often said, to actually be elected in the Western world. He was a leader of the Chilean Socialist Party, which was one part of a coalition called Popular Unity.
This popular government, we're going to distribute the land. The Mapuches and the indigenous people in the south are going to have the land back after hundreds of years of occupation. We're going to keep our forestry for us. We're going to keep our fish, we're going to keep our copper, and we're going to distribute it more equally.
Here was somebody who at last came to power through the ballot box, and here was somebody who was defeated not through the ballot box, but by violence.
The agency started to pour money into a series of covert operations to discredit Allende, pour money into the anti-Allende political parties, work closely with the Chilean military to build up our influence there, conduct operations to kind of divide and upset Allende's ruling coalition. And then a major propaganda operation, and that was pouring millions of dollars into the leading anti-Allende newspaper, El Mercurio, transforming El Mercurio into a bullhorn for military operations against Allende. This propaganda operation helped set the stage for the military coup of September 11, 1973.
Here, counter-revolution started, prepared and financed by the United States, organized by traitorous and disloyal generals and fascists.
On September the 11th, 1973, General Augusto Pinochet and his army marched on Santiago, the capital of Chile, and stormed the palace. Salvador Allende was killed in the process. With Pinochet in power, violence, corruption and torture quickly spread throughout Chile. New documents show that in the weeks after the coup, Pinochet's troops arrested around 130,000 people and imprisoned them without trial.
What Pinochet did was kill thousands of people. Hundreds were executed in the football stadium. One of the favourite ways of dealing with dissidents was to take them out in over the sea in a helicopter and drop them into the sea.
Luis Minoze and his wife Diana were two of the people targeted.
I came back home and she never arrived. And I knew that she had been gone. I waited, and I waited all night. I was screaming and crying, because I knew that I wouldn't, that feeling, you know, this is it. And it's true, it became true, never saw her again. I was taken to this secret torture center. I spent a long time, nearly 3 months, and then 2 years in concentration camps. This person is going to be tortured till he died or she died. It's going to be suffocated. It's going to be raped in the case of women and men as well. I was lucky, one of the survivors.
If you walk around Santiago, the capital of Chile, with people, they will point out to you every now and then a house which might look quite innocent now, but which is remembered by one generation as a place of torture and horror, where 15 or 20 years ago you could hear the screams from this building. That's the memory. And it takes a very long time for that memory to fade, especially while those who were responsible for those crimes still walk the streets.
These are people responsible for the death and the massacres of hundreds and thousands of people. Come on, there's no excuse.
Pinochet in Chile became a focal point for international condemnation of human rights violations in Latin America and international condemnation of the United States of America for both openly and through the CIA supporting regimes such as Augusto Pinochet's.